and then they charged me with whatever that amount was, and they never even got any drug. And so it's all hearsay. And like if I assault somebody and I get taken to court, I have the right to confront my accuser. But in the ghost dope situation, the dope should be your accuser. So you should be able to say, well, where's the dope? Here it is. It's in this bag.
Willie D Live.
And let me tell you something. None of them liked it, and they all hated it. So you're going to have men that are conservatives or Republicans, and there's about 1,500 of us that have a story to go back and tell, and we're in the process of putting some of those stories together. But we're going to go back to the Republicans and say, hey, this has got to change. And so Democrats are usually on board with justice reform. So if we can just pull a handful of people from the Republican Party with the backing of President Trump or the Senate or whoever it is we got to get the legislation through, then I feel like we can make some transformational change in the way we legislate from Congress. We can change some of the laws. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with the ghost dope. Like, I know guys in federal prison that are doing 25, 30 years for
dope
for one phone call. And it's ridiculous. So you could say, well, Shane was selling me drugs and he was selling me X amount of drugs for the last 2 years, this much per week, and the feds will take that and they'll say, well, you multiply that times 52 weeks times 2 years, so that's 104 weeks, and then they charged me with whatever that amount was, and they never even got any drug. And so it's all hearsay. And like if I assault somebody and I get taken to court, I have the right to confront my accuser. But in the ghost dope situation, the dope should be your accuser. So you should be able to say, well, where's the dope? Here it is. It's in this bag. This is how much it weighs. This is the purity of it. And that dope would be testifying as a witness against you. But in that situation, it's not even, you can't confront your accuser because it's this hypothetical that the federal government is. So we could legislate our way out of it. And then I think another important aspect of it is the policy, because the policy dictates how the officers interact with the inmates and the things that you're doing for the people in prison. And I think instead of just being more justice, like for instance in Texas, it used to be called the Texas Department of Corrections because they wanted to correct the behavior. So when you get out, you've learned, okay, I can't do this because and I have these tools to cope when I get in this frame of mind. I want to go hustle. Now I've learned a trade, or I've got this degree, so now I can go to school and go work in this field. But then Texas changed it to the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. All they are interested in is when they throw you in jail, they want to extrapolate justice from you. And it doesn't matter. They cut out all the education. Then they cut out all the extra food you were getting and all that. So now people are just doing time. They're just sitting in there they don't care if you go to school. They don't care if you do anything. When your time's up, then we're going to let you out. And somebody that just sat in there, that's all they did. They didn't change anything. You didn't change their heart. You didn't change their mind. You didn't change their spirit. So they're still the same person that they went in as, and then they come back out and they move back in next door to us. Now our kids are exposed to it. Now our wife's exposed to it. Now our church and our community is exposed to it, and nothing has changed. So I think we've got to reimagine the justice system. And I think it's going to be an interesting perspective coming from, there are a lot, not all the January 6th guys are white guys. There's black guys, Middle Eastern, Hispanic, or whatever. But we're going to be coming from a different angle than is typically sought. Is seen coming. We're going to be coming right at the Republicans. We're going to say this is unacceptable, what we endured. And not only that, but the men we left behind in there, it's unacceptable. And some of the things that I endured in there, I wouldn't let my dog live like that. I've been in the cell and killed 250 cockroaches in a matter of like 12 hours. I've seen rats. I've seen, our sinks quit running. Our sink in the last spot I was at in Terre Haute, Indiana, the sink wouldn't turn off. And because it was loud at night, I would put a sock over the sink and tie it around the sink so it would run through the sock and quiet the splashing in the sink, because it was like water torture in there. But after a day or two, that sock would turn like the color of this carpet, like rust red. And so that's the water we're drinking in there. And I'm like, there's people getting this stuff called H. pylori, which is from fecal matter in your food or in your water. And so there's a lot, and that's just specific things, but there's a lot of things, and that's just treatment-wise,